I love getting immersed in a good horror story, and to me there's a lot of elements that help videos do this for me. But I gotta say, good voicing, and especially when there's real footage involved, really gets me immersed. Guys, these are gonna be some scary stories by Nightmare Files with real footage in them. Make sure to subscribe to them, and let's get into this reaction.
I live in Casper, Wyoming, and from the name of
Casper?
where I live, you
Like
know weird
ghosts?
stuff is bound
Okay.
to happen occasionally.
Right.
Well, this story happened in 2016 during my junior year of high school.
Alright.
I had a girlfriend whose parents just gave her a car for her 17th birthday.
Dang.
So one weekend, our parents let
Nice.
us go out to the cabin that our family owns.
Right.
On our way there, she told me that it was a nice cabin and how she's been there so many times.
I used to love going
She said
camping
it's
when I
pretty
was in high
secluded.
school.
I thought that was weird. We walked down a long trail, across a small
Secluded.
bridge, and back down another
Most camps
trail.
are. Unless
This
it's
is in the
like
middle
at
of
a
the day, so I
campground.
could see pretty far out.
Sure.
And no lie, I saw a random clown nose in the middle of nowhere on the ground. I walked up to it, picked it up, and tossed it.
You knew
We
it was a
both looked
clown
at each
now?
other and laughed. And then I heard footsteps in the distance.
Laughed? No.
I
Clown?
ignored it. I didn't know where we were. But she claimed that she knew. As I'm looking out into the wooded area, I saw someone peek from behind a thick tree and then get back right behind it. I stopped her from walking and I told her someone was out there with
I
us.
got the creep so
She
bad.
told
right
me
now.
not to worry, but I wasn't used to being out in the wilderness. I told her
Right.
that I know what I saw and that there's definitely someone out here with us.
Yeah.
Eventually, we stopped at some cabin. It's not really what I thought it would be, but it looked nice.
Okay.
It was like another house, honestly. It also
Sure.
had their family bikes in the back.
Most
I was
cabins are
worried
like that for
there
camps.
were no other cabins around. She told me that there's security cameras all around this place, so to not worry.
Really?
Brought some games to play because we knew it was going to rain and we would have to stay inside
All right.
as it got dark outside.
Got a good
We
setup.
sent alcohol
with
from our
cameras and
houses
stuff.
and brought it with us.
All
The
right.
first night there, we drank a lot and pretty much passed out.
Sure.
I had weird dreams about this guy that I thought I saw in the woods.
I bet.
He was dressed in the clown suit, standing in the corner of our cabin just watching us at night.
Was that a
I
dream?
probably thought that because of the whole clown pandemic that was going on in 2016. The next day, we went out hiking for a bit. When we got back, our door was open from the wind, being that it was pretty windy that day. At least that's what we thought.
Yeah, not
Again,
wind.
On the
Clown.
second night, it began to rain when it became night. And at some point, we were watching TV, and then all the power went out.
Somebody
So we
was
had
posted
no
up in
lights.
there.
Nothing. And out of nowhere,
Wow.
lightning struck pretty close to us.
Yeah?
And it lit up the whole area. I swear when that happened,
Did you
I
see a
saw
clown?
the silhouette of a person standing outside the window near the front door.
Dude.
We both saw the silhouette and ran to the door to make sure it was
Dude.
locked. And it wasn't. I locked it. And luckily I did because someone started to mess with the door handle. Once this guy noticed that we noticed him, he started to bang on the door. I started to yell for the man to
Can
stop.
you imagine?
And then I hear, "I'm sorry. It was a prank. Can you let me in though?"
No.
I told him to leave us alone.
No
and
way.
That I have a gun. He then said, "No, you don't. You're only a kid." My girlfriend was calling the cops.
Wow.
When she was done calling the cops, she called her dad and he began to look at the live security footage on his computer and he told her to stay inside.
Can you
He
imagine?
then began to drive here, but he stayed on the phone with her. It's not far from where we live, so
Good.
he'll be here soon.
Thank
The
goodness.
man began to check every window for entry, but there's bars on all the windows. He was eerily calm, and that freaked me out more than anything.
I know.
Then he calmly
Like
walked away
calculated.
as the police lights approached within a few minutes. Shortly after the cops arrived, my girl's father's dad arrived. When he came in, he yelled at us for drinking.
Yeah.
He told the cops what we saw.
That's
and what
the
I
least
saw in the
of
woods.
their words right
We
now.
went back to our house, and her father was looking through the footage from earlier that day and the night before. He called us in the room and showed us what he saw from the night before while we were asleep. This is what we saw.
Oh my. Bruh, can you imagine a secluded campground and somebody is doing this? Look, with a knife.
After investigating,
Wow,
the police
dude.
found a hide site near the cabin. The man dug a hole
hide
in
site.
the ground big enough for him to lay down. And he had a platform made of wood, a blanket, and anything that could camouflage.
Dang, he had a dang
so that anyone
clubhouse
walking
going.
past wouldn't notice it. Anyways, there was more footage, but it's not available to show anymore. But the man walked inside the cabin. We were so drunk that we never even woke up. I guess the dream that I had was actually real because the camera shows that the man was inside the cabin for hours, watching us as he stood in the corner.
But he didn't kill you.
If he wanted to, he could have killed us. I wonder what he planned to do that night that we called the cops. I'm glad we never found out.
Maybe he just got the guts, you know, to finally do it. God, man, people are crazy. I'm glad it wasn't me, y'all. Oh, Lord. That's creepy, bro. Very, very creepy.
I have a friend who grew up in India.
Okay.
He recently went back to visit his family. He told me that his family and everyone from the area that he grew up in believe in stuff like skinwalkers, wendigos, witches, and even aliens.
Sure.
Anything considered paranormal, they definitely believe in it.
Right.
So every time he goes back to visit his family, it will be for a special occasion, birthday, marriage, and other events.
Yeah.
He told me that he would always stay with his cousin in his apartment because they're the same age and will go out partying all the time.
Yeah.
But he lived in an awkward neighborhood. He'd always see weird stuff there.
Like?
He told me that one night, he and a few friends with his cousins, they all went out. And they took it back to their apartment. They had fun there.
Okay.
The night was like any other Saturday night, especially with the alcohol consumption.
Partying and drinking and...
Outside on the streets were also pretty busy in that area.
Mm-hmm.
It was downtown, so you could hear cars and people outside.
Right.
It was definitely an unusually loud night, though.
Man, it's a creepy hole.
But eventually, everyone started to head out. My friend and his cousin began to watch a movie. It was a horror movie, so they cut off all the lights. There was a knock at the door at around 1:30 at night.
Okay.
My friend went to the door, peeked out, and asked if he needs something. The man looked to his left, looked back at the door, and told him that someone was acting weird near his car, and he needed to get down there. Then he walked away. My friend said thanks and told his cousin. To make things weirder, they heard some commotion outside, and then a woman screaming. That's when my friend took his phone out to record. Yeah. And this is what they caught on camera.
In the hallway of your
Once they looked out the window and saw the crowd, they ran downstairs to see what was going on. They saw everyone pointing towards something.
Right.
Everyone kept saying the boot, the boot.
The boot.
It's spelled B-H-O-O-T. It's some kind of demon that they believe in that can take any form, from human or either animal. Once my friend and his cousin could see exactly what they were pointing at, they began to record on their phones again. And this is what they caught. Few people ran back there to where it jumped into, but nothing was there. To me, I can tell it wasn't human, but not sure if it
didn't look real human.
From how weird that night was going at that point, that could have been anything.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, Lord. You know, you got to think, you see videos like this all the time on the internet, but seeing something like that in person or captured on your own phone and you can't explain it, there's all kind of other weird stuff going on.
2020.
Make it crazy, right?
I work in the mall and come across some sketchy people pretty often.
Sure.
On this day, though, I met this one guy who tops anyone that I've ever met.
All right.
I was walking around the store that I work in, which is usually filled with younger people.
Yeah.
It's H&M, if you're wondering.
Oh,
I happen to be in the women's section when some guy appears out of nowhere and says, "Hi, Jade." I didn't see this guy walk up. I also wear a name tag, so I didn't think too much of him even knowing my name.
Oh.
I jumped, and he said, "I'm sorry. People usually never see me coming until it's too late." I thought that was the most awkward thing you could say to anybody.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Red flags went up immediately.
Yeah.
1, this guy looked too old to be here. 2, he smelled like Dookie. And 3,
Dookie?
He had creep written all over him. Before I thought it couldn't get any worse, he asked me what time I got off. I told him that was none of his business and tried to walk away, but he grabbed me by my arm.
What?
And he said he was sorry.
Secured?
I told him it's fine and I walked away. A few hours later, I clocked out and began to walk to my car, and I saw the same guy standing in the shadow near my car.
Oh, no.
I think he thought that he was hiding, and I couldn't see him. So I went back inside and I asked one of my
probably smell him if you smell like Dookie.
One of my male co-workers.
Right.
When we got back outside, the man was gone.
Sure.
By the time I got to my apartment, I forgot all about this guy. About an hour after getting to my apartment, my friend comes over, and we were just relaxing, doing what girls do, when we heard what sounded like small rocks hitting my window.
Dookie boy's outside.
We didn't react to it until it continued for about 5
Dookie
minutes.
boy, quit throwing rocks!
I looked out the window, and downstairs near the gate was some man. I grabbed my phone, and this is what I recorded.
Okay, someone is throwing rocks at my window right now.
Dookie boy's outside.
I don't know who this guy is, and he's telling me to come up to the gate. What the fuck? Bro, Sayla, should we call somebody? What is he doing, bro? What is he doing?
Weird, dude.
I don't like this.
People are strange, man.
No.
Weird, man.
After looking at the guy,
what a creep.
Maybe a minute or two, I noticed that he was the same guy from earlier.
Yeah.
But he changed his clothes for some reason. That's when I called the cops.
He said something like, I saw you at the mall.
Calling the cops. We actually kept yelling back and forth so he wouldn't leave before the cops got there.
Right.
Once they arrested him, they told us that this guy made up a story that I was his girlfriend, and we met at the mall a few days ago.
Wow, he
even mentioned what I had on when we met, and it was exactly what I had on a few days ago.
He's
delusional. But I only met this guy today.
It's full-fledged stalker right there.
Because I came to the realization that he's been watching me for days.
Yep.
I don't know. If you ever have suspicious feeling about someone, always
trust your gut. Always trust your gut, guys, because you can never really tell, man. Never really tell. I'm a firm believer in the buddy system. When you're doing things that you don't normally do, like getting out of your routine, you know, get a little friend. I know it's different with the pandemic and stuff, but you always got to be on your guard, guys. These are two examples of why that's the case. Guys, I hope y'all really enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out Nightmare Files. He's going to be in the description as well as right there, and a couple other reaction videos that I think you'll love. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.